Hey, it's James Willoughby, where we review the weekly activity in the Austin real estate market. Every week, we come in with a new episode of what just happened in the last week. So, this is week ending April the 22nd. So, we have statistics for you of what happened last week, and we compare it to the year before and sometimes the week before. So, let's jump right into it. So, our weekly charts here show that our active inventory for the first time this year, it's gone above 10,000 listings. Now, that didn't happen last year until later in the year, like in September. However, I'm going to show you where I think that this is not an unhealthy thing for the Austin market. I'll show you that next. But yes, we are definitely above that mark. In fact, it looks like inventory is out of control, but it's not. And I'll tell you why. So here are the new active listings. So this red graph here, this is last year's numbers. And, every week it's a little herky jerky up and down, whatever, for whatever reason, holidays, weather, make ready, whatever it is that causes it to be very uneven on a week to week basis. So we did have 1 week here where we really had a lot of listings for whatever reason, 1,328 listings. That was 2 weeks, or actually 3 weeks ago. And then it went way down to match what it was the previous year. This last week, we're at just under 1,200 new listings in 1 week. So you can see where we're trending higher for the entire year. I'll pull this back and let you see them both. So yes, we're definitely seeing new active listings higher than last year's numbers. Now let's look at pendings. This is kind of where it's at, right? So we want to know what happened last week in terms of homes that went pending. So we had 956 pendings. That was up from the previous week, and actually kind of in line with what we would expect. In fact, when we go and look at the new pendings versus new actives chart, you can see when we just look at pendings, the blue line here, you can see it's very, very, very consistent. We've been at or above 900 plus sales that have gone pending each week for really the last couple of months. So we have very consistent demand, which may surprise some people, but I think the demand is there. I think people are more methodical right now, and they're more of a planner. And I can tell you from, in the trenches here, talking to my loan officers, are definitely seeing more people pre-qualifying, which usually happens in, January, February, and March. And now we're seeing it in, April going into May. So I do think there's a trend there, which will kind of tie everything together here in a second. But the one thing that I think is that these homes going on the market, what it is we're finally starting to see some inventory break loose. A lot of the people are selling. They're either move ups or move downs. These are the people that were somewhat frozen based on their interest rate that they refinanced to or bought at a couple of years ago, and they're maybe at or under a 4% interest rate. Well, those people are actually starting to move. So they're going into, closer to a 7% rate and giving up the 4 or in some cases, sub 3.5% interest rates. And my question is, well, why are they doing that? Well, actually, they've been holding off for some time. So that's buyer demand, right? So most sellers have to sell before they buy. So we're starting to see more listings coming out there, and those listings, when they sell, those are buyers that are going to gobble up the new inventory that comes on the market. So to me, that's the secret or the untold story of the market right now. Is we're seeing a lot of demand for people that already own homes that are ready to sell, which in fact is a good reason why we have the buy before you sell program that helps people. Maybe they could buy now and sell later. And that's this too short of a excerpt here for me to go ahead and go into that program. But if you're interested, let us know. We'll explain all the details to you. So anyway, and then, this month this week rather, we want to look at weeks of inventory. Well, Gosh, we were at 10.35. Now we're at 10.69. So what are weeks of inventory? That's how long would it take based on current demand to gobble up all the inventory. So yes, it's a little bit higher than it was this time last year, but not significantly higher. And actually, the demand, we're at 4% higher demand right now. We had 4% more pending listings year to date than we did last year. So actually, the demand is higher this year. It's just we have a little bit more supply, which is causing our weeks of inventory to go up. But I'm not concerned. I don't feel like it's a bad time for a seller to sell. In fact, I think it's probably a good time for a seller to sell, especially if they're buying back into the market. And I think it's always a good time to buy in the Austin market because we do know that timing anything is difficult. But if you buy now, I can tell you that things are percolating pretty high in terms of job growth and that sort of stuff. So anyway, well, we'll examine more of this next week. Have a good week, and we will talk to you then. Thanks. Bye.